Playboi Carti, Whole Lotta Red album expectations. And we say expectations. These expectations, and they've changed, right? It's taken a year for him or 2 years to drop. What expectations you got on this album that people are waiting for more than Jesus to come home? What is your expectations on it? Like legit, more people are like, yo, which one would you rather come down to earth, Jesus or Playboi Carti's Whole Lotta Red album? The polls say Whole Lotta Red, and it's sickening. But sorry, that was
the polls. What polls are these polls being taken by demons?
These polls.
Who the hell's taking these polls? What are you talking
about? These are the same polls Donald Trump looks at.
Okay. Got it.
I've seen plenty of polls that say this.
we won the election. I have 4 polls that said I won Michigan. No, bro, you lost.
Shaky, very shaky polls I'm referencing. What's your expectations?
You know what? I don't have much. I'll be real with you. Playboi Carti is not an artist that I go to for my musical enjoyment. I think the biggest thing for me is I'm trying to understand why and how Playboi Carti became such a big artist and somebody who's so heavily demanded. I don't quite understand how that happened. Like, did you ever see this happening when he dropped his first couple songs, probably like 3 to 4 years ago? Like, like I remember the earlier songs that were hits from him, like Woke Up Like This with Lil Uzi Vert. I really like that joint. It's dope. Like he dropped Die Lit 2018. It had a couple of joints that was really good. Which overall, over the years, I've started to understand that people really love that album, Die Lit. People really love Die Lit.
It's a cult classic.
It's one of those cult classics. And it's like, when I look back at it and I listen to the music, I kind of understand, because I don't go to Playboi Carti, and most people don't, for lyricism. That goes without saying. But, for the same reasons that people prop up Young Thug, like me, I prop up somebody like a Young Thug because I believe artistically he does things different. He does things his way. He does things in a way that's unorthodox. I think the same argument can be made about Playboi Carti. I just don't think it's that great, but I see the appeal. I see why people think he's different. And so when it comes to this Whole Lotta Red album that has been teased and dragged on for months, if not up to a year, I'm not sure what to expect from a project like this. I'm not sure. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not sure what there is to expect. Now, to be safe, and if I'm taking the safe route, of course I would expect more of the same music that I've heard him make, right? The pew, pew, the bouncy music that's like really high energy, music that can kind of really get you out of your own element, music that you can mosh pit to, music that's, again, stuff that I expect the production to be very, very different and next level. Because he was working with Pierre, what's the guy's name? Pierre Bourne. Pierre Bourne. He was working with him on his last project, Die Lit. And, the last thing I've heard about Playboi Carti was him wearing a dress on Instagram. I don't know if you saw that. But bro was looking super feminine on his Instagram post, which you should check out. But that's literally the last thing that I've heard from Playboi Carti in months. Last thing I've heard or seen from him in months.
He had a baby with Iggy. That was in the news for a couple weeks. But I think there's a bigger point that I want to talk about. And that's what we do at Ill-Advised Wise Guys. We take something like a Playboi Carti album expectations and turn it into a bigger point. If you, Uchay, were an artist, we can call you Lil Uch or whatever you want to be called, Baby Uch, Notorious UCH, whatever you want to be called. if you are an artist, right, and you care about success more than making music and artistry, would you focus more on your craft, or would you focus more on antics, or would you focus more on building hype? We're talking about success.
Okay. Well, I
Kind of
think
a rhetorical question.
nah, I can answer that. I can answer that. I think everybody will have a different answer though, which is the beauty of that type of question. I think if you're asking me, well, I'm very integrity based. I try not to get out of my element. I try not to do things that is not natural. So with that in mind, I would try to find a way to build hype naturally while not being gimmicky or creating this gimmick that's not me. I think gimmicks are fun. I was just having this conversation with my fiance, about gimmicks and what that means. And we were really pointing out a lot of artists, specifically women, that have gimmicks and some that don't. Like I for example, going off subject, I think what Melly is missing is a gimmick. I personally believe that. I think the reason why, and I think women in particular, and this is just what I've seen, I could be completely wrong. I've seen women have to be the ones that have this gimmick more so than dudes. Like it's like to sell a woman sell a woman's music. It seems like the artist and the industry wants a woman to have this thing. There needs to be this one thing that they can really prop up to say, here, look, here's this new age, here's the new artist. And I feel like I love Melly's music. I think she makes good music. I think she lacks a gimmick that, to me, if she does not develop, is going to, unfortunately, limit her career and the trajectory of it. So with all that being said, I'm not mad at anybody for not wanting to just come up with this gimmick that's not natural. I'm about the integrity. I stay to that. That's my answer. Find a way to stay true to yourself. Create a gimmick if it's natural, while also trying to create this buzz that comes along with it. To me, those are the things that I like. I don't fuck with antics. I'm not an antic person.
Okay.
I don't like that. I don't like antics.
So I mean, that's obviously your personal how you would go about it. And
hey, you asked me mine. You asked me
exactly.
What would I do?
What you would do.
Now, if you ask me what would I do, if the question was what would I do if I was a rapper trying to blow up today?
Yes.
That's a different answer. You're gonna get a different answer, my brother.
So pretty much
you're gonna get a different answer.
So my success. So what a lot of people don't realize is that hip hop has always been about antics. This is not new. Hip hop has always been about gimmicks. Like you can go back to when 50 Cent first came out, right? 50 Cent did not really start to blow up until he dropped How to Rob. Remember, he starts name calling just random people he don't even have beef with. And then when he finally got on, there was this huge wave of like 2000 from 2003 to like 2006 where it was just cool to like beef with people, where if you just dropped a diss record, like people would pay attention to you, and then you start getting random people dissing random people for absolutely no reason. That to me, I would classify as a gimmick in hip hop. You move forward, then other gimmicks started to come about where people were building hype by dressing a certain way. People were building hype by saying certain things, like Lil B. Remember Lil B dropped an album called I'm Gay? Like, what was the point of that? It was gimmicks. Hip hop has been gimmick based for a very, very long time. And the most recent one, right, Tekashi 6ix9ine. Tekashi 6ix9ine was one of the biggest gimmicks I've ever seen. Colored hair, dude, picking beats with people. But the problem with hip hop is hip hop rewards gimmicks. Hip hop rewards antics. Tekashi 6ix9ine's probably a multimillionaire because of his gimmicks. 50 Cent is a multimillionaire for some of the things that he did. He's also a good rapper, but I think it was 50 Cent's like just his whole persona, just his whole ability to diss people that took him a notch above. Antics and gimmicks in hip hop work. They work. And if I'm an artist that wants to blow up, if I'm an artist that wants money, I'm thinking twice. Do I think of a gimmick that I can have that would get people to look at me, or do I want to perfect my craft? Because a lot of people blew up quick because of gimmicks, but how does this pertain to Playboi Carti? Playboi Carti, I think, is a part of this whole gimmick of when is my album going to release? I'm starting to think like behind the scenes, these smart marketers, these smart execs are like, yo, Playboi Carti, like, we're noticing you are building hype by dangling your album out there. You are building social media followers by pretty much saying that Whole Lotta Red's coming and it ain't coming. Same thing, J. Cole is doing it. J. Cole said he was going to drop the fall off before the end of the year. Like, where is it? Is that the new gimmick in hip hop? To tell people you're going to drop an album and it don't ever come out? We sit there just waiting for it. Young Thug most recently did it. I mean, Young Thug said, I'm going to drop, what was it, Slime Season? On Black Friday. We all stayed up late at night over here. We stiff-armed their family members. We said at 12 o'clock, forget the damn turkey. I'm about to go listen to Young Thug's album. It never came. Kanye West said he was going to drop an album, Donda. Oh, it's going to be the hottest album out. It never came. Is this the new gimmick in hip hop to tell people you're going to drop an album and it never comes out?
I think you're onto something. It's possible. You know, we'll never know because the smart people behind the scenes won't tell you because it would show their hand, right? It would literally be the opposite of what you saying they're trying to do. But if we're looking at it, that's a great point. Kanye never dropped Donda. We remember he never dropped Donda. It never came out and everybody stopped talking about it. Now it's like, we just forgot about Donda. But better believe it, when Kanye is back in music mode, when he's trying to sell something, he gonna start talking about, yo, Donda is on the way. Donda in 2 weeks. And it will not come out. I don't know if Whole Lotta Red is even coming, period. However, I will agree. You might be onto something. It might be the new wave. Because think about it like this. It does a couple things. It's obvious. It builds hype. It builds anticipation. How else in a climate like 2020, how trash 2020 has been, how else are people able to generate some hype behind music? People can't tour. Is the creativity levels, the things people used to do before is off. They're not doing it as much. I think actually this is genius. It's genius.
I mean,
however, if you're somebody who is a true musician like J. Cole, and I would throw Kanye West in there, of course, he's a musician. Kendrick. Although we never really got a confirmed date from Kendrick, so that's a little different.
The theme of artists telling people they're gonna come with something.
Hold on. That's a little different. Kendrick's a little different. He never really gave us a date. He never said there's something definitively coming. This is all speculation. But we have heard Donda was coming. Cole said out of his own mouth, the fall off is coming at the end of the year. It's a slippery slope because now, like the conversation we always have about expectations, how do expectations change and impact the way the music is consumed? How? Mm-hmm. It can change it. Mm-hmm. It can change it drastically. So I don't know if the true talented artists really want to play that game because it can change it a lot, bro. It can change. I
wanted to add like somebody that actually was successful doing this method, which by the way, he's actually moving some pretty interesting gimmicks. Lil Uzi Vert. Remember, Eternal Atake was teased for months, almost years.
It was up to like a year. It was probably a year and a half, actually.
Year and a half. Working on it. It's coming. And he actually lived up to the hype. I actually think it hyped up the album even more.
Yeah.
Eternal Take is coming. And then he had the whole deluxe wave, right? Which I think is another gimmick. I think is another antic. People were just like, oh, let's add a deluxe. Like that to me is just a huge gimmick. And everybody's doing it now. Even people aren't even checking for. Like
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And we've talked about that on the show too.
Why would I want 8 more tracks from Lil Keed? You know,
Lil Keed.
I like Lil Keed, but like I don't want 8 more Lil Keed tracks.
Wait, you like Lil Keed? You like Lil Keed as a person or an artist? Which one?
He's cool, like he's tight, but I mean, like I don't. And this is not a knock on Lil Keed. I just don't. I'm good with the 15. I don't want 27 Lil Keed tracks. But
I will never. I'm saying it on the podcast right now. I will never listen to 27 Lil Keed records in a row. You better believe if I do it, I'm gonna take hella breaks. I'm taking breaks.
But yeah, I mean that's my another album. Remember, this is the one that did it. This is the very first one, Detox. Detox still hasn't come out. Detox was so hyped that rappers were using it as a way to brag. People were like, man, remember Lil Wayne was like, me and Drake wrote on Detox. Ooh. People are going to clubs telling women that, man, you know I was on Detox, right? I'm saying like, you should come home with me, man. I wrote on Detox. Like, to me, it's pay attention. Stay
yo, that's a see, you starting to be more ill-advised with your conspiracy takes. You're starting to see this is why this show works. I need more conspiracy theories from you, man. Like, that's a good one. That's a good one right there. That's a good one. Use your brain. Use your brain.
It woke.
Yeah, well, I want to know what the people think, man. But yeah, that's an interesting topic. Whole Lotta Red. We'll see if it actually drops or not. Probably not. Matter of fact, you know what? Over or under? Not over or under, because I'm not a gambler. Wink, wink. What are the chances that you think that album is coming out this year, 2020? We have, 2 weeks left for the most part. What are the chances? Because supposedly, according to DJ Academics, that album is coming on Christmas Day. Supposedly.
I mean,
you think it'll happen?
I was going to say I heard from a very unreliable source that, yeah, I mean, like you said too, it's coming out on Christmas Day. But, you know, it's funny because I just wanted to add, like, I mean, it's like initially I thought his label didn't want to release it, right? But then if you look at Playboi Carti's Twitter, like he says stuff like, I have the most loyal fans ever. I have a gift for you. So happy. My album is about to come out, guys. Like it's about to drop. And he'll put stuff like, oh my gosh. Like it's a ploy. Like it's a ploy. Like we falling for it. But I think it's going to drop before the end of the year. But there's absolutely no reason to believe that. But I'm just guessing that it's going to drop. I could be very wrong.
I have a sneaky suspicion it will too. I have a sneaky suspicion. Like I feel like that Christmas week time slot makes perfect sense. Red Christmas.
It's a shot in the dark. I don't even know why I'm saying it's going to drop this year.
I will never put money on this. I'm not betting. There's no way I'm putting money up. That's how unsure I am. There's no way. There's no way.